Welcome to the Talk It Out Show. I'm your host, Joanne. We would like to let you know that this show is for entertainment purposes only. If you want to look us up on Facebook or Twitter, look us up on Talk It Out Show. If you want to go ahead and email us any of your questions, go ahead and email us at talkitoutshow@gmail.com. Now, if you need to physically send any of the questions to us, go ahead and send it to our P.O. Box. That's P.O. Box 901043, Portland, Oregon 97290. As you know, I have my panel of lovely ladies. I'm going to introduce those lovely ladies to you. We have Nita.
Hello, everyone.
And we have our lovely Lauren.
Hello, everyone.
All right, you guys. Happy Friday. I'm so glad to have you guys here. We're going to help one of our listeners out there. All right, so this person says, I'm writing you because I need some clarity on how I should be feeling about my situation. I'd love to hear your perspective on it and what some of your even new listeners say about this that might be in my shoes. I am 26 years old, a mother of a 6-year-old. Me and the dad are good friends and co-parent well, been separated for 4 years. I've always been independent and responsible. I've also always been attracted to older men, especially the ones who look good for their age. I just love the maturity and stability in dating older. It gets me every time. My dilemma starts when I met this handsome older man. He's 42, dark, tall, has a great body. What attracts me to him is how motivated he is. He's charming, knows how to court a woman. The biggest plus was him not having any kids. We talked, dated for about a few months before we got intimate. After that, we continued dating and having sex on a regular basis. Everything's going good until, boom, I'm pregnant. At this point, we've been at it for about 3 to 4 months. At that time, I found out I was pregnant. We were still going casual, no pressure. When I told him, he wasn't surprised. He wasn't ecstatic either. He left the decision up to me, continued the pregnancy or not. After about a week or two, I decided I was going to continue with it. He didn't mind. In fact, he was happy. He was finally going to be a dad at his age. Still dating casually. A month after we found out we were pregnant, at this point we find out I'm about 2 months. I spend the night at his house. I was getting ready to leave, putting on my clothes, fixing my shoes, and he starts to look real nervous. He tells me he has to tell me something. At this point, my feelings for him are developed. We agreed on continuing to get to know each other, and we are now expecting. My first thought is, oh no, this man has a wife, girlfriend, baby, something. Still, I remain calm. I tell him to talk to me. I never seen him nervous like that. That fool begins with professing that he will never put me in harm's way and that he cares for me, how much he's worried about the pregnancy and that he can't hold it in any longer, blah, blah, blah. Spits out reluctantly that he's HSV too, positive, which is, for a couple of years now. I'm immediately shook. I started to cry. I asked him why he didn't tell me why have unprotected sex with me knowing I'm clean. He tells me he was scared of what my reaction might be. I accept this response as truth, and I kind of feel bad even though I'm hurt, scared, and angry. Although some might go all out in a fury, I didn't. I told him that HSV does not define him as a person and that we could work around it. I've done an extensive amount of research, and just because your partner is positive doesn't mean you're automatically can. I accept it for what it is, but in hindsight it's killing me that he never gave me the respect to tell me and gave me the choice of having sex with him beforehand. Up to that point, I never felt sick of any symptoms or anything because it's herpes. Fast forward, I'm now going 6 months of my pregnancy. I find out about 2 weeks ago I am HBS2 positive. I'm heartbroken. I don't know the exact time of infection. I could have been before or after the fact that he told me. The only reason I got the diagnosis now was because I went in for a regular checkup and the doctor asked for blood work. I continue to still show no symptoms. Things have been rocky lately. He's still trying to go casual when I'm stuck, feeling like he's the only guy in the world I could ever date anymore. I feel like I deserve it all from him. Yesterday we got into our first real heated argument. He tells me that he may never be able to give me what I'm looking for. Him falling in true love with me and giving me massages and doing what dads do for the pregnancy. He's lacking in the small stuff, the stuff that makes a woman feel good, like those things. He calls me his girlfriend, but I don't feel important enough to him. It's almost as if he's like, well, now she knows I don't really have to prove myself, and I try to make her happy anymore. He blames it on the short amount of time we've known each other, which is understandable, but he did me dirty. I now have feelings for him, and I'm pregnant with his first child. I don't think I'm wrong for feeling like he is selfish and manipulative. I still feel like he should be kissing before I walked on. I didn't deserve what he did at all, and I feel like I risked it all. What would you do? Sincerely feeling disgusted and entitled.
Well, is it HSV or HVS? Because she said both.
She said HSV, which is HSV-2, which is just, I guess, like herpes.
Simplest.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
herpes.
And then on one of them, she said HVS. That's why I didn't know if it was two different.
I think it's HSV. She just, maybe I read it wrong or whatever, I don't know.
Okay, so
It's
you
just
got
HSV.
herpes, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, you're all right. She did say one way and then another way. That is. But it's that.
Could be a typo too.
Yeah, that's what I think it was, but that's what she meant. That's what it is.
Okay.
And she told us outward that's what it was too. So
Well, this is something that I discuss a lot. That when you consent to having sex,
Unprotected. But
it doesn't matter if you're unprotected
yeah,
or not.
Yeah.
When you consent to having sex, these are things that will come up. It could have came out. He didn't even have to know that he had it, and you could have got it from him, and he didn't know. It just happens that he does know, and didn't want to tell you because he didn't want that to interrupt the thing. But sometimes we like to just put the whole anger on somebody else, but you do have to take some of the consequences to this action because we all, I don't know your living situation, so I can't say, but I have talked about it several times, even with my kids and my family and stuff like that. There's no 100% cure or safe sex that you can have that's going to prevent you from having diseases or getting pregnant or any of those things. So all those things you have to take in consideration to when you're having sex that this might happen.
Put your risk in something.
You're putting your risk in it. You're playing Russian roulette. And I know people get mad. Well, he should have told me. You are absolutely right. He should have. But a lot of people feel like he does. If I tell you I'm not going to get any, and I don't want to die not getting any. Not saying it's right. That's just their mindset. My thing is, if you're going to feel more obligated to stay with him because you have it.
Right.
Yeah.
So it does a lot of stuff. Everybody has their own mindset of what it does. And this is why it's so important to get tested before you have sex. I don't know, back in the day, it was like that was the thing to do. You get tested before you have sex to make sure you're not getting no disease. Nowadays, there's no test, not even before you get married. Back in the day, you had to get tested before you can get married.
Yeah,
But they don't do it anymore because nobody cares. And so I feel bad for your situation. And I hate that you're going through what you're going through. But in the end, and I don't want to seem like I'm attacking you, but you have to take you're putting all your anger on him. When some of that anger is on, it's 50% your responsibility as well.
Well, the problem is not, and I think that she knows that too. But what I think she's wondering is why is he pulling? He's not doting on her like he was prior to.
Oh, because he don't want to take care of the kid and he want to be able to.
No, that's not.
No, I really think because one, he's 42. So my thought before the HSV came up is he was going to say, I can't have babies. You know what I mean? Because you're 42. But it's like the moment he told her is the moment he changed.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, the reason why.
Okay.
You mean the moment he told her that he had it? Or?
HSV.
No. The reason why he's pulling away, I don't think it's with regards to the father. He knows that you're in that precarious position. You can't go. You can't go nowhere, and he knows that. He knows that you're thinking that way. You can't go nowhere. He don't have to.
You don't have
because
to.
Because you're stuck. You're stuck. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
So and so now the way you were acting, now you're acting a little bit different because you are in that predicament. So he's like, well, it's because we're still young yet. I know, but where are you? I need you.
I agree with what you're saying, but I still think he probably have other kids out there. He's 42. This is not his first person he gave HSV to. This is not going to be his last person he gives HSV to. And you're not going to tell me she was the only one out of everybody that got pregnant. So he's done this. And this is his way to distance off. You pretty soon you're going to get so mad that you don't want to ever see him again, and that's his way to do it. And we believe everything somebody says about that. But I have a brother that he got kids everywhere. Everywhere he go, he got a child. Just look. I talked to one of the baby mamas now, and that was his wife at the time. All the time, and I see his reaction. He's sweet, kind. He listens to the whole conversation. I mean, he is really listening and responding and having great communication with these females. So they just fall madly in love, and then he'll come and bring them over to the house, and then he's like, right before they come in, he's all standoffish, stressed. Why? My baby mom won't let me see my kids. Oh no, I just want to be alone. Oh no. So then they come in the house and he's not talking to her. He snaps at her. He calls her a BQXYZ. But all she remembers is he was this wonderful man. But this baby mama doesn't not let him see his kid, and I understand why he's angry. And I see him do it all the time. And I'm like this. It took me a second just to get like, dang. Oh, this is an act. Because in the beginning, I didn't see it. But girls were giving them cars. He had no driver's license. Girls buy them a car. Did this. I'm just watching all these women do that. Because we're so emotional. And we just stay like glue. I don't want to let you go if you have something that's really real and really good. And a man plays on that. And he knew, she ain't going to leave me because of AJ. Like, you didn't even get mad. And he didn't tell you. You was like, he was expecting me to yell and scream, and I didn't. Because once you didn't yell and scream, he knew he had you. He knew he had you right when
she probably felt that way too because she was pregnant. So she said, and then her mind's thinking, I'm having his first child. So
and that's what she's holding on to. This is his first child, and that's what she's holding on to. And he knows that. And that's what I'm saying is like, as women, you have to start standing your ground. And then I don't care if you're a man or a woman, when you're having sex, and you didn't get tested, you are 50% going to get a disease or something else. Because we learned, and not only that, we've learned this in high school. So even if your parents didn't talk to you and yourself, you learned it either in grade school or high school. When you sleep with Sally, you sleeping with everybody Sally slept with. You sleep with Joe, you sleeping with everybody Joe slept with. So you sleep with one person, but actually you slept with 100.
And remember, I was saying that how we recently found out that they had been doing some college students just accidentally found out that they did autopsies on these women that passed away, and every man, the semen of every man is in the woman, of every man they've ever been with. It never goes away. So they did autopsies probably about 4 because they were doing something totally different. They found out. So every man that a woman has slept with, that man's DNA is in that woman.
That's probably why in the Bible it says whoever you have sex with is who you're married to.
Yeah.
So because then you never really get rid of the person. So those are things to think about. Because right now you're in a situation there's nothing you can do, but I would stand my ground and I would not hold on to him just because he gave you HSV and thinking that nobody else wants you. Because that's not reality either. And don't be like him and try to sneak somebody in it. Be upfront about it and have it before you have sex. Be like, okay, we need to talk. We need to get tested. But I'm gonna let you know I have HSV. Blah, 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 and be open about it. Because more people are more understanding than what you think. Just don't do the same thing he did to you to somebody else, and don't think you have to stay with him because you have it either. That's the best advice I can give you, but at the end, don't put the whole blame on him either. And
the way you had it, he's a serial carrier.
He is.
So when I put the blame on him.
No.
He did
not force. He did not force.
I agree.
They waited 3 months, and I don't know.
Saying that was.
But my thing, if you waited 3 months,
just like your brother-in-law, he's enticing. I mean,
yes, but you still even though you still know the rules, and this is the millennial, and this is this. Yeah. It's different. If your life is important to you, get yourself checked. Because right now, people are in relationship with HIV, AIDS, and everything. And people are not, and they don't even care about it. Yeah. And nobody cares that they're getting diseases. But then when somebody does care, it's like, but I'm carrying his first child. And that is murder. You know what I mean? Even though HSV ain't murder, but that's murder. To be able, to me, is murder because you gave me a death sentence that I didn't want. Not saying I'm gonna die, but it's like, you can't get rid of herpes. They don't have a cure for herpes. So you done trapped me.
But then you said I was clean before. You gave me some. I was clean.
But my thing is, if you was clean before, then you should have been the one to say, let's get tested.
A lot of people don't do that, no.
No, they don't. And that's why I'm saying it's 50% your responsibility.
It's a mood kill.
But she made him wait 3 months. So why in them 3 months you couldn't have got tested?
Yeah. And make sure she was using protection the whole time.
Well, protection doesn't stop.
It doesn't stop herpes, honey. That's hair on hair contact.
Yeah, that is.
It's
skin on skin.
That don't have nothing to do with semen.
He didn't have to have sex with her. He just, she could have touched his hand when he
she could have jacked the mouth and got it in.
It don't matter what it. Yeah,
so my thing is, you have to, and this is for everybody. You guys have to get protected. You have to not get protected. You have to go get tested because condoms ain't 100%.
Yeah, that's true.
It is not 100%. So you got to understand that. And I don't want to make it seem like I'm attacking you. I'm not. I'm just saying. You have to take blame. I don't care how smooth and charismatic he is. You have to take on the responsibility. This is your body. And that's my mom always told me my body is a jewel. So I have to respect it as a jewel. Nobody else is not again. Nobody else is going to respect your jewel as much as you are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you're not respecting it, why does anybody else have to respect it? And I don't understand why we hold accountability that he needs to respect your jewel more than you do.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, that's what we always talk about is loving ourselves and things like that. And so that is one of the things is kind of when we talk about self-care and things like that, making sure that those things, because a lot of times people just live life and they're just this free willing, doing whatever, and not thinking of any of the precautions, the consequences of anything that they're doing. And you are saying, "Oh, I like older men, and this and that." Okay, well, because he's older, that means he more experience. He done had probably a lot of sex, and you young.
That's why.
And now you done sat here and got something that's gonna affect you the whole the whole rest of your life, and because you was liking older men and this and that. And you thought he's attractive, he's charismatic, all this, and that's where it came with a price, big time. So now you having this kid, but it's not the end of the world or anything like that. And I'm not saying even with HIV, they have drugs to where even now you can take it, it's undetectable. But you just that's just something you have to do. You have to change your life and just make sure you have medications and things like that. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you have to do, but. It's just part of your life, but it's not. It ain't no.
The part that she's just heard that he didn't tell her upfront, and I get that.
And a lot of people
and he's very wrong for that. And I agree with you. He is very, very, very wrong for doing that. Regardless, he is. But at the same time, it's your body.
Yeah.
And we can all get that in the mind that. Women, we control it. Now, if he raped you, that's something totally different.
Right.
He didn't. It was a consent. And he chose to be a child and not disclose that information to you. But at the same time, what did you do to prevent your jewel from being damaged?
That's true.
And, sorry.
It's not. That's all she just needs to do, though. That's the hard part about it is because she is so young and it's like, oh, I got this. But it's really not. A lot of times people feel like, oh gosh, this is horrible. It's not the end of the world. It will take time. Now, because it is traumatic. So if you have to get you some counseling or whatever to get you through what you need to go, because you're hormonal already. You're hormonal because you have babies and this and that. So emotions is all over the place. So you got to get all that stuff taken care of. But so if you need to get some counseling or whatever, then do that too. But it just like anything, it will pass and you'll be fine. It's just this is a big old life lesson.
It's all right too. You can leave them.
She did. They're not together. They just co-parenting.
Okay, well then you're fine. And call it a day. But at least she stayed around.
Is that the guy that she?
I didn't think she loved him, but she
no,
said
it is. It tells you in the beginning that they're co-parenting. She was done. She told you no story, but she's telling you that they've just been co-parenting.
No. Is that? I thought she's co-parenting with her 6-year-old.
With the other one. Yeah, you're right. You are right.
And then she met this 40-year-old one, and then she got
But then
like I said, you
leave them alone.
Don't think that you can't find somebody else.
Because you can.
Because you have herpes.
Yeah,
you can find somebody else, and you'll find a great person. Just remember, your jewel does not need to be tarnished. Let's go fix the scar on that jewel and keep it kicking. Don't stay with him hoping that
he gonna change, and he that old and he ain't gonna change.
That's part of your pillow talk.
Yeah, exactly. Well, hopefully we help somebody out there. You guys, thank you so much for listening to us, and we will see you next time right here on the Talk It Out Show.